In this section, we will enhance our PlayerController script to manage 90-degree character rotations. In upcoming sections, we will build on this script further to implement lane-changing mechanics and lane-snapping functionality. To get started, double-click the PlayerController script in the Unity editor to open it in Visual Studio or your preferred code editor. We start by introducing a variable, which is a dictionary that maps key code values to Boolean states. This dictionary will help us track whether specific keys are being pressed or not. Next, we add entries to the dictionary to initialize the tracking for specific keys. Here we add the right arrow and left arrow keys to the dictionary, setting their initial states to false. This means that neither key is being pressed when the program starts. Next, we implement the rotate function, which handles the character's rotation based on a given angle. The function begins by retrieving the current rotation of the object using transform.rotation. It then modifies this rotation by multiplying it with a new quaternion, created using quaternion.Euler, which applies the specified angle around the y-axis. This results in the object rotating smoothly by the given angle. To ensure accuracy and prevent issues caused by floating point errors, the rotation is snapped to the nearest multiple of 90 degrees. This is achieved by converting the object's current rotation to Euler angles, rounding the y-axis value to the nearest 90 degrees, and reapplying the corrected rotation to the object. This guarantees that the rotation remains aligned with precise 90-degree increments. Next, we define a placeholder function called SnapToLane. Currently, this function doesn't contain any logic, as it is intended to be implemented later in the development process. We will now amend the update method to handle player inputs for rotating the character. First, we check if the left arrow or right arrow key is pressed using input.getKeyDown. When either key is detected, we update the corresponding entry in the key presses dictionary to true. This signals that the key has been pressed and an action should be performed. Next, we check the state of these keys in the key presses dictionary. If the right arrow key's state is true, we call the rotate function with an angle of 90 degrees. After rotating, we call the SnapToLane function to align the character with the nearest lane. Finally, we reset the key's state in the dictionary back to false to prevent repeated actions for the same key press. Similarly, if the left arrow key's state is true, we call the rotate function with an angle of -90 degrees. Again, we follow this with a call to SnapToLane to ensure proper alignment and reset the key's state to false. Toggle to the Unity editor and click Play. You can now use the left and right arrow keys to make the character rotate to left and right, respectively. This wraps up Section 3, Implementing Character Rotation. In the next section, we will focus on generating roads and a basic scene.